And
Great
Richard
catch.
Thatcher, Ken Crates for Canvas Media. Good to see you. Maybe if you would give us an assessment of Saturday night, the performance of your offense. I'm sure you wish it turned out differently, but what was your assessment?
Yeah, we got a lot to work on. Got to improve. Obviously, can't turn the football over and win. Can't get in the red zone and not score points. So we're trying to emphasize this week. We got to, there's nothing you can do about it at this point. We got to get better. We got to fix those things. We got to do a better job of coaching. So,
how do you feel Bryson Daly reacted to the opportunity to be the starter, to lead the offense? And had several turnovers. So how do you feel he did in his first game as the quarterback?
There was goods and bads. I mean, he played his butts off. Again, we got to put him in, good positions. We got to put him in places to be successful. There's a couple calls in there that probably didn't help him. But he played his absolute butt off, and that's what you can ask. We got to continue to clean up some stuff. And that's what we're working on for this week.
Talk a little bit with Jackson Lipowitz today, and you had Brady Small make his first start as a freshman at center, Connor Finucane, the captain, Shane Buckingham, and Jordan Laws at left tackle. How do you feel the offensive line did in the game?
As a whole, I mean, the whole offense, we all had things we can improve on. Nobody played their best game, and we got to get better. That's what we're really focused on this week is fundamentals, and fixing those of things that we thought we'd practice good enough, but obviously didn't because it didn't show up in the game. So there's a lot of work at every position to get better right now.
He had some good pass plays. We talked to Bryce about to Isaiah Alston at 3 catches. You had a great throw in the first quarter to Liam Porter for 53 yards. How did you feel about that part of the pass game?
When they got their opportunities, they did good. We just got to execute better still. I mean, there was a couple more opportunities that they had, but when the ball came their way, they did a good job. And then obviously once we get it, we got to protect it. Again, that's just trying to improve this week on all that stuff. That's the big thing.
Last question, Jesse, is Tyson Riley and Jacoby Buchanan, your two big fullbacks. I think they had a total of like 25 yards. How did you feel they did? How do you feel like what their role is in the offense?
I mean, again, it wasn't for lack of playing hard or trying or anything that. I mean, there's just stuff we got to clean up, and we got to make sure we get them in situations to be successful as coaches. But again, they played their butts off. We've got little things to clean up at every position. And again, that's kind of what we're emphasizing this week is cleaning some stuff up, getting those guys in positions to be successful. And that's what we got to do this week.
Very good, guys online.
Yeah, go to Ken on Zoom.
Hey, Drew, Ken McMillan from the Times Herald Record.
How's it
Drew,
going?
good, thank you. Drew, was there something that ULM took away from you guys that, you got the trained eye here?
Coach Monken says it all the time. It's Army versus Army. And we didn't execute and we didn't do some of the things fundamentally that we need to. And as coaches, we didn't put our guys in good enough positions to be successful. So we just got to keep focusing on us. That's the goal every week. Again, that's what we've been focusing on this week is just everybody doing their job to the best of their ability as coaches, coaching the best we can, and in play calls, calling plays to make sure that we get our guys in successful situations.
I know it's disappointing, but was the performance surprising or shocking? I mean, you knew how the team looked going into this game.
I mean, we didn't play up to our ability, but you are what the film says you are. So again, there's nothing you can do at this point. We've got to continue to get better. We've got to continue to press. Again, as coaches, we got to make sure we hammer fundamentals with these guys. And then with our plays, we got to make sure we get guys in positions to be successful. And that's what we're working on.
Coach Monken talked to us the other day about experimenting with the line personnel. Not that he was anticipating making major changes, but how did that go this week? Did you guys shuttle in a lot of people?
We just got to make sure that those guys know that every week is competition, and that's how it should be anyways, whether it's a win, a loss. I mean, you got to go out and practice well. and you earn your reps in the game. And so that's just what we're trying to really emphasize. And again, it's always trying to find the ways to get your best 5 on the field up front. So just looking at a few combinations and seeing how those shake out.
I know there's a lot of self-pressure, but what do you do to kind of lighten things up? Because obviously you don't like a loss or you don't like not scoring in the red zone, but how do you make sure that the guys don't let it all build up in a negative way?
I mean, again, when you're just focusing on doing your job as best as you can, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily a focus. You know, if you score 70 points, it's not like you should come back that next week and not focus on the little things. And that's where our focus is we've got to focus on doing those little things, and that'll lead to success and scoring in those situations. You know, and again, doing the little things to protect the ball so those don't happen again.
And last thing, can you just talk about, did you get any encouragement, emails, whatever, from friends, colleagues before the game, after the game?
Got a lot of good luck texts, you know, and then after the game, a couple. Obviously, I always kind of, some of my family, they always follow the game, you know, and it's not like this is unfortunately the first game I've lost in my career. You know, obviously you take it hard and you got to get better. You know, but you try to find that balance. You can't be completely in the dumps when you lose and as high as you can get when you win. You try to find that balance. And again, it's all you can do is go to work that next day and continue to try to get better.
Thank you, Drew.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, Coach Thatcher, Joe Icono with GoBlackKnights.com. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Good. So, you know, I just finished talking to Noah Short in the other room, and we talked about, you know, the first time you see the game, it's kind of like, wow, that didn't go well. But I watched it again on Saturday, and he mentioned, you know, it's really just a lot of little mistakes. And as Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick are famous for saying, the little details add up and can create big problems, right? So he talked about that you guys are trying to correct that. I mean, I thought the team moved the ball pretty well between the 20s actually on Saturday, but then bogged down in the red zone, obviously 4 trips down there, 6 points. How do you improve the efficiency in the red zone and ensure that Army's walking away with more touchdowns on Saturday?
Yeah, we, you know, it's just, you try to emphasize it in practice. You try to make sure you get your better plays called down there. You know, I know it's one of the things for me as a play caller, trying to figure out the identity of what we are good at in those situations. You know, so it's, you know, a play that might have been a play that I liked. Again, maybe that's not what our team needs at that point. So just trying to clean that up. And I think we've got some things that we've improved on this week. You know, and then our guys just trusting when we get down there, hey, we're going to get it in. And again, it's, to me, what you do in practice shows up in games. And so that's what we're really trying to emphasize to these guys. And so again, just putting our guys in those situations and repping them in practice. So when they get there, they know, hey, these are the plays that come, and we're really confident in these plays. We're going to get that thing in.
And you know, when I had spoken with you and Coach Drinkle earlier in the fall camp and in the spring, talked about getting guys the ball out in space and stuff. And I just noticed, a lot of us noticed that there were a lot of run plays between the tackles on Saturday. Was that more read on Bryson Daly's part, or was that intentional based on what ULM was showing you guys? And do you plan to maybe try and get the ball to the perimeter a little more this weekend?
Yeah, we definitely got to get it distributed a little bit better. Part of their plan was to keep the quarterback in some carries, you know, and not necessarily let it get outside. But we've got to get it on those edges more, and then that opens up your inside. You've got to have a balance. So we'll make sure to have that ironed out come this week.
Yeah, which brings me to my last question. You know, Ajon Marshall had a really nice run there on the perimeter on a sweep type play. You know, if you take that away, and you kind of already answered this with some diversity and stuff and the play calling. But you know, you take Marshall's run away and the offense only averaged 2.8 yards per carry, which is clearly not where you or Coach Monken want to be. Other than some of the obvious stuff like blocking better, how do you improve on that average going into this weekend?
I mean, it is all fundamentals, you know, and then again, putting our guys in positions to be successful, you know, and we've got several ways to get it out there. You know, whether it's a true give, whether it's an option play, whether it's a throw out there, and we just got to get more of those called for those guys. And when they get them, they, you know, execute out there, and our guys will. So we just got to put them in those positions.
All right. Thanks a lot, Drew. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Have a good week.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.